There are two separate processes in Texas for clearing up your criminal record or a record of an arrest. And so the first question is what those are and what's the difference between the two. The two separate processes are expunction and non-disclosure. And an order of expunction or a petition for expunction is generally limited to those cases where you're either arrested and no charges are filed, or you're arrested and the charges are dismissed, or in some cases it involves cases where you've gone to trial and been found not guilty or obtained a pardon from the governor. Non-disclosure covers those cases where you actually went to court and received some type of sentence. And generally there's a couple of different ways that can come into play. One is where you were placed on deferred adjudication probation and you successfully completed that. You may qualify for an order of non-disclosure. And more recently, there have been some misdemeanor offenses where the courts have, or the legislature has expanded the protection that allows you to enter an order of non-disclosure or obtain an order of non-disclosure in those situations. The big difference between the two is really in the process and the protection that you get. Under a petition for expunction, if that's granted, notice is sent to every agency that has any records. They're required to search their files, gather up all the information they have, and either send those to the court or destroy them. Once that's done, then there is no record whatsoever of your arrest or your case. There are some limited exceptions to that, but for the most part, that effectively destroys any evidence or any record that exists concerning your case. One of the notices that goes out is to private entities that collect information such as public data or LexisNexis. A non-disclosure is not nearly as comprehensive. That simply is an order from the court that's sent to DPS or to a criminal justice agency, and it tells them that they can't disclose the fact of the arrest in the case. There are a lot of exceptions to that, which we'll talk about in other videos, but the burden is on the Department of Public Safety to send those notices to the agencies, and then they're prevented from disclosing that information except in certain circumstances. For the most part, a non-disclosure is not nearly as comprehensive as an order of expunction, and so it's really something that you obtain if you don't qualify for an expunction.